Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. We've got 3 interesting replays for you today in this video. We're looking at the ELC AMX biz or AMX ELC biz. It doesn't really matter which way round you actually say it, because obviously this vehicle was known as the ELC AMX until they changed the name round quite some time ago. Game on! Well, we're on the northeast corner of highway, and this little AMX ELC is under the command of danijjjel. Now, it's the 90mm armed version, and he's capable of doing, I think it's 240 alpha, yes it is, 120mm of pen, and normally it's a 14-second reload. But danijjjel's managed to reduce that to 12.76. He's decided to do a bit of spotting really close to the enemy. So to do that, he's gone into these bushes. And from here, you can spot a lot of the enemy as they're making their way down to the northwest corner of the map. We've already got 2 of our tanks over there. And in fact, we've just spotted a leopard who's cruising through the field trying to get spots whilst he's moving. And now we found an M10 RBFM just up by the shop. I think we also saw the tracer from an enemy Arty. Oh my god, look at the number of tanks he spotted straight off by just being in this advanced position. ELC stands for Engin Léger de Combat. It's a light combat vehicle basically. It's very lightly armoured, heavily armed, and it was made for being airlifted to any of France's colonies. There's a version of it in the French Tank Museum at Saumur, and it's well worth having a look at that as well. The ELC Even 90 is another tank that was actually made for the same contest, and well, that's tier 8 and this is tier 5. The ELC is also, or the Even 90 actually, is also a tier, a premium tank, whereas this one's not. It's got 2 crew. Commander is also the gunner, and the driver is up front in the vehicle. Now he's auto-aiming, but look just behind him. He's got a T67, so since he spotted that one, he's just spotted another 2 tanks as well, VK3001Hs. Both of them making their way towards our cap area, cutting their way straight across the field. Now at least our guys have noticed that they're on the way, and he's now picking up spotting assist as they're being hit by shells. So he's turning himself around, repositioning inside the bush. Now you may have seen a video I put up recently about hiding in bushes to not be spotted. And this is a good exercise in why you need to practice that skill to ensure the enemy can't see you, because he's sitting here in enemy territory and they don't know he's here. And now he's spotted over 1,000 hit points of damage on the enemy. In fact, he's picking up so much he might end up with medals because of it. T67's on his last hit points. And we're looking at that M10 RBFM. Those things are lethal. I've won many medals recently just taking this out for a spin. The fire rate is what gets the enemy, because they just can't stand the fact that you can pump out shells at a phenomenal rate, even taking down heavy tanks with it. Okay, in the meantime, most of the enemy tanks that went over that way have now died. But we've lost a few tanks in the town centre. In fact, a lot of tanks in the town centre. So we're in a poor position. Oh, he gets a shot in on the M10 RBFM, but he has to move straight away. Now the problem with this gun is it doesn't turn the whole way round. You can't turn it the full way either side, it just won't go. You've got 15 degrees either side of the centre line, and that's all. Now, he did go into the deep part of the river there, and that slowed him down a bit, but he managed to escape without getting shot at. Now, I think he's going to do something extremely sneaky. He's going to go into enemy territory now, on the other side of the centre line, and try and spot the enemy near their cap area. They've got a lot of tanks in the town, at least 2 that we can see straight away. And we know that there's that Skoda and the T67. But the question is, where are their other tanks? We've got 2 Arty. Ooh, we almost flipped there. And there's the Skoda, so we know where the Skoda is. Okay, if we miss what the tanks are in the tables, we can assume that the KV-220 is in the town centre, so is the KV-1SA, possibly the KV-1. We don't know where the VK-3001H is, but we know where the Skoda is, and he's nearby. And that means there's 2 Arty up here, an AMX 13AM and a Gorilla. There's the Skoda. Now, the best thing to do would be to ambush the Skoda and then go after the Arty afterwards, because then the Arty won't see us, and neither will the Skoda, because he's using the Bushman. Oh, he didn't get a hit there, but the Skoda didn't see him, and neither did the Arty. So he's aiming for the rear of the vehicle. It's definitely the rear. And he's just spotted the enemy Gorilla. Let's hope the enemy Gorilla hasn't spotted him. He's backing away. Now he can use the bush mechanic. Ah, that's why the Gorilla didn't see him, because he was actually over a ridge line, and it was only the top of the Gorilla that was actually visible. Now his team are 2 tanks down on the enemy at the moment. He's got 2 marks of excellence on his barrel, but he actually is trying to get his 3rd. So he's working as hard as he can, getting as many battles in. So you're seeing the good battles. You're probably not seeing the bad ones, but I'm sure he's working and he's getting better at it. And it is difficult playing this tank with the 90mm because of that limited arc of fire. Now, as far as we know, there's only 2 tanks in the town now. One's right at the north end of the town, the VK-3001H. And he's trying to clear the rest of the town, see if he can come up behind any of the enemy tanks, put some rounds into them. Well, one of the KV-1s is actually near our Arty. In fact, there's the other one. So there's no enemy tanks in the town. They've all departed. And he's now got to try and dash back to his cap area. We just lost the AMX 13AM on our team. There's the VK, and he's just up ahead near our cap area. So there's 3 enemy heavies, well, sorry, 2 enemy heavies, 1 enemy medium, and they are fairly light on hit points, so he might get killed with 1 shot. There they are. Now, he could back away, but he's going to try a shot. First shot kills the KV-1. Now, VK didn't see him because he was hidden by the bush. He's still reloading. That hit the track. Did he see us? No. The other enemy KV-1, we can't see him. And they've started capping. The Skoda's coming in this direction. There's definitely another KV-1SA out there. And here comes the Skoda. He's also trying to cap. Just up over the ridgeline. There he is. Okay. Now he will spot us for sure. 1 shot kill. He's gone. Now we need to get into cover to avoid the enemy getting any free shots on us. Okay, that's good. Down into the dip. We're hidden beneath the ridgeline now. Just need to find that KV-1SA. Stop him joining the cap. Where did he go? There! Oh, that's the VK. Okay, so we can get a reset. The guy's out in the open. Okay, wait for him to come into full view. There you go. Nice reset. In fact, now he's a one-shot. But we still don't know where the KB1SA went. There's still 4 left on the enemy team, 3 on ours. And there's the VK Robber. He does get one shot in. We did need to get that dial in on the aim, otherwise it wouldn't have been an accurate shot. He did get hit on the gun in return. Where's the shot? I can't see where it hit. Oh, it did hit the muzzle brake. There's the KV-220 on the enemy team. So the KV-1S must have been killed. So the question is, why did that guy go over there? Or maybe it was the KV-220 and I got it wrong. We've just lost our VK-3001H, which means there's only 2 left on our team. KV-220 is a tier 7 hull, but he hasn't seen us yet. Uses the push mechanic, didn't get a hit. He's using the premium ammo, he needs the extra penetration. As you can see, 240 Alpha, 150mm of pen with the premium. With the standard shells, he's only got 120. So that extra 30mm can be a difference, because you've got to remember that's a tier 7 hull from a KV-3, but it's on a tier 5 premium tank. Of course, the KV-3 is an upgraded version of the KV-1, extra armor on the front of the vehicle. Now the KV-220 appears to be hunting us. He thinks that we're still over here, but probably doesn't realise we're behind him, because of course he can't see us at the moment. Now going down here means we've got to try and escape going up the hill, or we're going to chase after him. Is he hunting us? I think he must be. There he is again. Well, we're on top of the hill now, so it's easier to get away. Well, we hit the vehicle and we told him where we are. So he definitely knows we're behind him, and his turret's turned in our direction, but he still can't see us. That long reload. Oh, that was beautiful! That hit the turret, which is a weak spot. But here comes the enemy Arty, who are using their W key to move. One of them, the gorilla, just a short distance away, he just got wiped out by our VK-3001H, and that means now there's only one enemy left. It's the AMX 13AM. Now that's the tier 5 French Arty with a 105mm gun. Not quite as powerful as the others, but it does have a very fast fire rate, and it can penetrate an AMX ELC BIS. No problem with that at all. Now, fun fact about this tank is that it actually isn't a tank at all. It's not a proper tank, a light tank. It's actually a tank destroyer. Oh, he's found him, and he gets him with one shot. So the game is over, just like that. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker for danijjjel in the AMX ELC BIS. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage while he was sitting in a field right out in enemy territory. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually managed 5 in this one short of a Top Gun and 1/3 of the enemy team, as well as a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the KV-222. I was reading him off as if he was a KV-1S. He was actually a KV-222. Both premium tanks, but this one's more difficult to kill. You need to get the shell into the turret if you're going to kill a KV-222, and that's precisely what danijjjel did. He hit the turret of that guy. He was aiming for the turret, and the 90mm shell went straight through his turret and wiped him out with one shot. 1,776 went to danijjjel, so second on damage in this one. Third on damage was the KV-222 on our team with 1,692. When it came to kills though, it was danijjjel. He got 5 kills in that one, 4 kills went to the KV-222 on the enemy team. 3 kills went to the enemy VK-3001H and our VK-3001H. So there's symmetry there, if you think. And when it came to base XP, danijjjel got that one. 1,194 went to him. 1,120 went to the KV-222. And 763 went to the KV-222 on the enemy team, just pipping our Churchill 3 by 2 experience points. danijjjel fired 12 rounds in the game, got 10 direct hits on the enemy and 8 penetrations. 1 splash as well. 1,776 hit points of damage, of which 544 were done at more than 300 meters. It is fairly good. So long as you're fully dialed in on the target, you can get accurate shots. He did receive 1 hit. I'm afraid it was a penetration. Yes, he did receive one. It came from the VK-3001H, which was actually in the cap at the time. And danijjjel needed to let it dial in. He couldn't wait, couldn't snapshot it. And it was wise that he did, because he did get an accurate kill shot. But he did take a shell from that VK in the process. 7 enemy vehicles were spotted, 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 1,831 hit points of spotting assist. He also managed to get 58 defense points, resetting the cap. If he'd left it a little longer, he might have actually got a defender. 31,954 credits on a premium account for the battle, 3,834 from personal missions payout. But for using premium ammo, and he did use a fair amount of premium ammo and consumables, he actually made a small loss of 8,128 credits. But he is working towards his third mark of excellence. You need to use premium rounds in the grind to get the third mark, because otherwise, if you fire a shot and it bounces off the armor, that's really going to cost you in terms of improving your mark of excellence. 1,194 XP, 10,746 from personal missions payout, 12,537 experience points altogether. That was a good battle. As he says, one of the best games with this beast so far. So that was the first game. I did say there was 3 in this one. Let's have a look at the second battle. The second replay is on the Tundra map, and he's on the North Spawn. Game on. Okay, he's going to do the thing that most players in light tanks tend to do on this map. Get some early spots in, and you can do that from these bushes up here. The only problem is you knock the trees over when you come up to actually get a nice position, and that might give away the enemy where you are actually located. There is Arty in this game, and, well, there's 2 of them. They might try a shot in this direction. He spotted an Oni, but he's directly across down to the other side of the near the mining village. Oh, spotted his first one, gets a Chi-Ri. Now, did he get spotted? No, he didn't. So he could have stayed where he was. And he's popping into the bush again to try and get another shot. I think I can understand the logic behind danijjjel knocking these trees down. He does want to take shots. And the best way to conceal himself is to use the bush mechanic. I think he's a little too close to the bushes, though, to use that mechanic. But thankfully, most of the enemy tanks are... Well, he's got another one coming. It's a T-34 shielded. Oh, he hit him! And he gets a high roll. 273, 240 alpha is this tank. I wonder if that Chi-Ri's going to come back. Looks like he is. Oh no, that one went over the engine deck, but he still didn't get spotted. So I'm pretty sure that Chi-Ri came back in the off hope that he might spot he was sending shells in their direction. Here he is. That's an easy kill. And he did get spotted this time, so he needs to be careful. And we've got an AMX ELC on the way in. He's full health. This could be painful. Now, he's got the 90mm. Oh, it's a kill shot. That was a double banger. Yes, he spit roasted him. The Chaffee and danijjjel, between them, came in from both 2 different directions at the same time. And they spit roasted that ELC. If you don't know what a spit roast is, look it up. It's very naughty. Yes, but I think he I think that enemy AMX ELC just got absolutely hammered. You could say he got abused. Oh, that long reload, it really is a pain, but look what it can do when you do get a hit. And another hit, this time on the KB85, not the T1. So the T1 must have been further away. Now he's going for the Oni, but he goes back to the T1 Heavy because he's easier to penetrate. Changes his mind because the T1's on the move. Where's the weak spot? Go for the boobies. No, changes his mind again. There's a chappy out there. He's low on hit points and he can kill him with one shot. Oh no, he couldn't kill him with one shot. I was wrong about that. Okay, he's got to depart this position, otherwise he will get spotted. But it looks like his spotting is paying off. He's going to have a quick look here because he might be able to get the M10 RBFM. Nope, misses it, I'm afraid. How about that 88? Can you get a shot into that guy? No, he's actually below the terrain. Oh, oh no, that failed in a big way, but can do it this time, yeah. Oh dear. I thought for a second he was going to have his goose cooked by that M10 RBFM, but no, he managed to recover in style and got the shot in directly through the turret to kill the M10. All of the enemy up on the hill have been killed. Now there are enemies still in enemy territory, and we can see some of them there. The ones we've got to watch out for are this Oni. Oh, but we might... No, we can't get a shot on him now. But we might be able to get in a position where we can get shots on him. Just up here. Now, he's in concealment. We've just spotted, or somebody's just spotted the AMX 13F3 behind us. I don't think it was us who spotted him. He's waiting for the Oni to come into view. There he is. His sixth sense would have gone off. But are there any enemies that we can hit from here? No. It's going back. There's the Oni. Now we've got a shot on his turret, but it's not so easy to pen. But we can get him through the side. Nope. I'm not sure where that one went. We were spotted. I think it was the T1 Heavy who spotted us. Now he's definitely going to have to use the premium ammo to get through those guys. He's only got 7 rounds of it left. It's gone back to the bush because they still couldn't see him. And the T1 Heavy, well, he definitely penned that guy. Oh! Ricocheted off. Hit it at the wrong angle. Now, you can get this in. The front is heavy armor, the sides are weaker armor, but the sides will probably ricochet. And that one hit the turret but didn't pen, and we took a round in the tracks. So we're still in action. No real damage, but we have spotted some damage on the T1. Now we're much more mobile than him, so we can do a hit and run, come up behind him. There's the Oni. Okay, now we can pen. That's nice, but we did get spotted. T1 knows where we are now. We could come up behind a different bush. There's 2 bushes there. He's going to have to guess which one we're behind. Go to the same one again. Difficult to pen. If he's using the standard method, he's looking at the spot. When the spot turns green, he can shoot. The T1's been attracted by his fire, but he's now one shot. So we could kill the T1 with a one shot. Just do a drive-by on him, and he's decided to do that. The T1's gone down, taken out by the budgie. Now we've got the Oni. The Oni's going to react to the A20, who's coming up on his left. And he does fire at him. We've got a blue mark there, so it's no good. Now go for the turret. No, blue, blue, no good. Can't shoot when it's blue. Now he's got it. He's looking for a green spot because then he knows he's got a definite pen, but he's not getting it. He's only getting yellow, which would actually work, but no, it didn't actually on this occasion. And he did get spotted again. Wait. Okay, now we're unspotted. Okay, he's using the armor pierce composite rigid. There, it works this time. And that's it. Game's over. He's done it. That was another ace tanker game for danijjjel in the AMX ELC bids. He got an ace tanker, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 5 exactly. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He only got 4 this time. And he got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He got an AMX medal in this game. Yes, he destroyed 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers and a light tank that were at least 1 tier higher than his. And he also earned the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. The AMX is interesting because, of course, it means he was still penetrating higher tier opponents. And, of course, he killed the Oni. And who else did he get, which is 1 tier higher than him? I'm trying to think, actually. Let's have a look down the list. It's not the M10. It's not the ELC. It might be the Type 5 Chiri. I think that's a tier 6. Pretty sure that's tier 6. So, yes, he did well in this game to get the AMX medal. Of course, named after Roman Orlix, the Polish sergeant who actually took out, I think it was 3 Panzer T-35s or 35Ts with his TKS with a 20mm cannon, shot through the sides of them, killed the crew and wiped them out. And that was a few days after, or a couple of weeks after the invasion of Poland. Very brave thing to do because the TKS is only a little tankette, but it took on tanks that were much superior in terms of speed, but he still killed them because he ambushed them in the right way to catch them unawares when they didn't know where he was. They couldn't see him, he was hiding, and he used his superior position and concealment to take out the enemy, which is basically what danijjjel did in this game. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, in this game, he did get the highest damage, 2,395 hit points, the second highest score being the Budgie with 2,122, and the third highest damage being the M2Y on his team with 1,660. When it came to kills, he definitely had the highest as well, but he shared this one with the M10 RBFM on his team. Both managed to get 4 kills. 2 kills went to the T1 Heavy on his own team and to the Oni on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's got the top spot. So he's got the top in all 3 columns on this one. 1,229, the only player to get over 1,000. The next highest scorer being the Budgie with 956, and after that, it was the M10 RBFM with 895. He fired 17 shots, 14 direct hits on the enemy, but only 11 penetrations. You saw some of the shots that actually bounced off the armor of the enemy tanks. It's rather embarrassing, actually, not to penetrate a T1 Heavy when you fire at the front of it, but he had a couple of shots that did that. And yes, that is kind of weird because the armor, you should be able to penetrate the frontal armor of a T1 Heavy with a 90mm round, especially if it's APCR. 2,395 hit points of damage, of which 1,021 were at more than 300 meters. So some of those shots were the enemy tanks that were crossing the river to get up to the hill. And kind of embarrassing, actually, for them to be taken out so easily. Even with that long reload, he still managed to get the shots in. 1 hit received. It was a non-penetration. He was lucky about that. That was the T1 Heavy. He fired a round that went into his tracks. And he spotted 5 enemy vehicles, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 4, and got 524 hit points of damage assist. He earned 31,489 credits from that game, 3,779 from personal missions payout, but he did fire an awful lot of premium ammo in that game again, the reason being that he wants to get his 3rd mark, so he has to do the damage. He can't afford for any of those shots not to pen, and unfortunately a few of them did fail to pen, so yes, it's cost him, but he gets the XP, and that helps him. Well, it's not the XP, but it gets the damage he needs in order to move up the mark of excellence. So he lost 50,712 credits from that battle. Yeah, that's a lot for a little light tank, but he will make it back. 1,229 XP, 7,376 from personal missions payout, and took away 9,220 experience points altogether. So another good game in the ELC and another ace tanker. Let's see what he can do on the third battle in our series. The third replay is on the Serene Coast map, and we're on the North Spawn. Game on. Well, this one he's landed in is a tier 6 battle, and he's trying to get to the spotting position so he can get early spots on the enemy. Now, it's a couple of bushes and trees just around this corner, just on the other side of the buildings, and he's doing a demolition on those buildings. Now, can he get to the spotting position? Well, he knocks the tree down, and yes, he has spotted a couple. Straight off, he's got a Churchill 3 and a KV1. Fires at the Churchill, but hits him in the track, and now he's reloading. And as usual, that long reload with the 90mm gun kind of dampens his ability to get some damage, but at least he was spotting the damage on those tanks as it was going in. He's taking another spotting position across the lake. No shot on him now to the other side. Oh no, this is dangerous. Got the enemy ELC a short distance away, but he's got a bush between him and the enemy for the moment. Right, guy's down by the bridge, so he's not on our side of the tracks. Okay, we can reposition to get some damage on those enemy tanks on the other side. That G1R is fairly close, actually. He's heading to his firing position without whilst keeping an eye on the enemy. It's difficult when you've only got a 15-degree arc that you can actually look at as you're moving along. And there are some enemy tanks up ahead for sure, but we can't see them at the moment. They've decided not to come down here for the moment, or at least they're concealed. I kind of get the impression that they were hiding because they suspected there might be enemy tanks waiting in ambush. Oh, G1's coming up. Now that's a medium, but it's still fairly heavily armoured. Did he get a shot to the cupola? No! Unfortunately it didn't hit. And the enemy Arty's also responding, and that's a Gorilla and a Hummel. Okay, spotted the enemy. They just stopped, and they're overlooking the valley, the dip. Nice shot on the Skoda. Got him just as he moved. Well, it's not a Skoda actually. Panzer T25. But he managed to get 221, which is a low roll. The G1's coming around the corner, so he's actually taking up a position a little further back so he can ambush the guy from further away. In fact, he just spotted the enemy ELC, and the ELC spotted him at the same time, so he's weaving now to try and avoid being hit. Okay, I think he's going to go over the bushes near the Arty and try and use the bushes around here. Actually, he might be better off from the other side of the rock, but he's keeping on the move anyway for the moment. He's keeping his eye on those enemy tanks, so he doesn't want to get caught out. Now, you can get through here. Okay. You can see enemy tanks just the other side. Can you get shots? No. He's doing all his best to locate positions where he can shoot from concealment from long range. Doesn't want to get too close to the enemy and get perforated by more than one tank at the same time. He might be able to get a shot in that BK. Or no, maybe not, because he's the other side of the rocks. Oh, took around from the Skoda, intercepted is a Skoda T25, that one. So he took 2 rounds, but one hit the tracks, I think, and the other one did some damage. In fact, it's only showing as 1 round hit. Surprising, really. I thought that was 2 rounds. Here's the Skoda. Okay. Hello, Mr. Skoda. G1R is coming up. Unfortunately, we lost the M10. But we might still be able to get some hit points and take out that G1R. It's the ELC that's actually coming in. He's just fired. Okay, the enemy ELC is coming in from the other direction. He's knocked the trees down to give him some cover. Okay, there's the Skoda. Can't hit him. He's the other side of the ridgeline, but we might be able to get a shot in the ELC, but the ELC doesn't know where we are at the moment. G1R is still the other side of the railway tracks. We're pulling back to the bushes. Right, there's a little rise in the ground here, which will actually give us a bit of help with the gun depression. Gives us a bit of height over the enemy. And that rock actually does protect us, but well, we just lost our 40 TP. Yeah, this is a good position. Okay, we've lost sight of most of the enemy. Looks like they're still trying to get through our cap, but they may be trying to come through the gap. So he's knocked over another tree to give him a bit more cover. That way you'll be able to keep shooting. Yes, they are coming through the gap. First one's turned up. It's a KV2R, the premium KV2. He can use push mechanic. He fires one in. He didn't get spotted, so he can go back to do it again. And the KV2's gone. Nicely done. Now, most of the enemy apparently are retreating to go and stop our guys who went round. So it looks like they saw that we were actually close to their cap area and they turned around and headed back. Okay, we've got an ARL 44, that's tier 6. It's a terrible tank, but it's one step up from the BDR G1B, and he just got wiped out by an Arty round, which means now there's only 2 enemies left. There's 4 of us, and 2 Arty on our team, and one of them is fairly accurate, so this could be another win. danijjjel hasn't got any kills yet, but he has got some damage. He's trying to stay alive because he's so close to getting his 3rd mark. He doesn't want to lose it by becoming a cropper. The Skoda, it appears, has moved back. Now he's in cover here. The enemy Skoda, that is. There's the enemy Skoda. He hasn't moved back. He's actually moved further up, but he's gone. There's just the ALC now. I'm not going to get a shot from him while he's behind the rocks. Watch out! Careful. Did it. Okay, it's chasing the ELC now. Both got the same speed. Unless, of course, one's modified the other. Or got the turbo. He might be able to come up behind him here. He's going to get slow as he comes up here, and he's got to turn to face the enemy. Hello! Yes! He gets a kill right at the end. Well, I was really pleased for danijjjel that he got that last kill right at the very end, but I'm even more pleased now because I can tell you he got his third mark of excellence in that game. It was only a second-class tanker, but it was a third mark game out of it, so now he has got 3 marks on the barrel. He's got a spotter badge as well for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage and a fire throw effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. It wasn't a big scoring game in this one, but it was satisfying in the end. The highest damage in this game actually went to our Arty. Yes, he was very good. 2,757 hit points of damage. Probably an ace tanker actually in that one by Marion VR6. Very well done indeed. The second highest damage in the game went to our Britannia Panther, the Baguette as we call it. He got 1,602. And the third highest damage went to the Skoda T25 on the enemy team with 1,397. danijjjel, 574 hit points of damage. Kind of low, but then he was moving about quite a bit, trying to find good firing positions, and he was uncertain where the enemy was for a lot of the time, and that caused him problems because they could have come out of nowhere at any moment and ambushed him. As it was, he set up a good firing position, knocked enough trees down to give himself some cover, and that made it all the more possible for him to actually get a good shot on that KV-2R when he came into sight. When it came to kills, the high scorers were the enemy, or the Fifi on our team. He got 3 kills, so did the Skoda T25, and so did the ARL-44 on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the other Skoda T25 on our team, the FV304 and the Baguette, and also 3 tanks on the enemy team, the Skoda T25, their KV-2R, and their Striv 74. danijjjel only got the 1 kill, but it was the important one. It was the one right at the end of the game, and it killed its opposite number. When it came to base XP, he was 3rd highest because the Baguette managed to get 1,040, the Fifi managed to get 1,011, and there's danijjjel with 774. But the best thing of all is he got that 3rd mark. 7 shots fired, 4 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrations, 1 splash. Damage of 574 hit points, of which 221 were at more than 300 meters. And I think that was the first shot he fired that actually hit one of the... Was it the first one? Did he actually do damage to that Churchill right at the start of the game? I think he hit him in the tracks. And we can quickly check that to see. No, he only spotted for damage on that guy at the start of the game. The 221 damage was actually on the... Oh, it was on the Panzer T25. That was the one he hit to get some damage. That was the one where he was uncertain. He was sitting there and he fired just as he started moving, so he didn't get an easy shot backwards or return fire. Okay, so we go back to the rest. He received 2 hits from the enemy. 1 was a penetration, 1 a non-penetration, and he spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 1, and 2,270 hit points of spotting assist. So he really did his job very, very well in spotting where the enemy was, and he was moving about quite a bit as well. 22,791 credits for the battle, 67,735 from personal missions payout. After repair and ammunition resupply took away 76,921 credits profit. 774 XP times 5 for the first victory, 5,805 experience points altogether. What a great game. It was fun, but yes, he was having to move about and he was very, very worried that if the enemy could break through at any moment, he could be in trouble. And that AMX ELC was being a bit of a pest because he was doing what light tanks do, spot where the enemy is and just be impossible to hit because he's moving too fast and you don't know where he's gone. So very well done to that player, but at least danijjjel got the victory by killing him right at the end of the game. I hope you enjoyed those videos, those replays. If you did, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.